Happy Thursday, my friends. I hope that you are having a delightful Thursday. I have not seen a Thor movie lately, and I've seen nothing of my Thor birthday present, so I don't know what is up with that. But we did watch The Last Jedi the other night, for us, the most current Star Wars. There may be something else out, but we don't go to the movies, so we just watch things on Netflix as they become available. And it was a really good story, but I gotta tell you, it's kind of sad to see Princess Leia and know that she's no longer with us. And, in this one, something happens and it kind of made me sad, but I'm not gonna ruin it for you. I'm just telling you it was a really, really good movie, and I sure did enjoy it. I've got a couple new journals to go into the shop today. This one is Rose Hips. I love Rose Hips because at the very bottom, Rose Hips says, repair your broken wings. And I think that, my friends, is a profound statement. I think we all kind of reach the point in our life where we might have a broken wing or two. We might have a nicked feather or something coming undone or something coming loose or whatever. But I really loved the sentiment here, repair your broken wings. And it's written very lightly in pink. It's quite lovely. Finished off with some wooden beads, glass beads, metal beads, Czechoslovakian crystal beads. This was a fun bead strand to put together. I am crazy about that bead, and I don't know what it is. It's kind of like this metal mesh, and I mean, if you guys ever see those anymore, if you know where I can pick some up, please let me know. I really would love to have some more of them. A friend of mine sent these to me. Let's take a look inside. Now, these are full-size journals, you guys. You said that you wanted some more full-size journals, so I did full-size journals for you guys. This, again, I'm using a lot of stamped imagery because I just love it so much. I think it's very enhancing for these books. Of course, and I know you guys know this, I make a lot of these elements myself, so I'm not one to, run to the craft store and scarf up a bunch of stuff and then stick it in a journal. I think that is part of the fun process of making journals, is actually being able to create some, a good many of the things that go in a journal. We've got a beautiful vintage greeting card for you. This one has glitter on it and is just absolutely gorgeous. A very peaceful, pastoral kind of scene going on there. It's those we love, we think about with much love, your family. So at some point, these are from... these are the family of Geneva, and I'm not quite sure what happened to Geneva, but she was quite ill for some time. But I can tell you something, you guys, Geneva had a lot of friends, and I am just jam-packed with these beautiful get well cards from all of Geneva's friends. What a precious thing that is. A fabric swatch for you, some more fabric to play with. Right in here, inside this plastic sleeve, are a lot of chippy bits and fun things for you to create with. I love these Hallmark cards. Are they not cool? I wish I knew what year they were. I'll have to do a little exploring about that and see what year they are. This is some game ephemera. I like the thought of, what if I had $5,000? What would I spend it on? What things would I buy? I am the kind of person who thinks there's no point in having money unless you're going to spread it to other people. I'm not sure if you guys saw the item on the ABC News about the kid who got a new job, and he was driving to work. His car broke down, y'all, and he walked 20 miles to his job. 20 miles. It was the sweetest thing. The owner of the company actually ended up giving the kid his old car so he could get back and forth to work. I don't even know what to say about that. That's gumption right there. that is dedication. You don't see that kind of thing, particularly among, you know, really like young people anymore. Not that I'm dissing young people at all. I'm not. I'm just saying that we have a, you know, we kind of have a different approach now. I thought that was very sweet and very dedicated. And for the owner of the company to give the kid a car was just over the top wonderful. Just warmed my heart. This is the Maiden of the North brooch. This is from the Victorian, I wish I could remember that, Victorian something. We've got some magazine pages. I love this Passport to Creativity and the Compass Rose. I just thought that was really super cool, and I know that you guys can do something really sweet with that. Your birthday. Now, Oscar has embellished the front of this card before his mom signed his name in it. I think that's really sweet. Got a packet full of things to play with right here. White spaces. Remember we said we're doing white spaces to encourage you guys to write. Look at that bureau clock, you guys. That really harkens back to another day, doesn't it? Since we don't really, you know, we look at our phone to rely on the time now. Crown stickers for you, crown stamps for you guys. I love this lady. She has a butterfly in her hair and a wrap. She kind of reminds me of a gypsy lady. I'm using my crocodile, you guys, a lot more. The only problem with the crocodile, and this is not really a problem, but it makes my hand hurt. The crocodile is heavy, and I can only do so much of that, and then I have to stop, and then, you know, I can do it another day. This is a sweet card that says hi, and it's got a moose on it and some embellishments. It's just really, really pretty. Vintage book pages for you guys to play with. A bit of deli paper. More vintage book pages. This is some poetry. Coffee dyed lined paper for you to write your own poetry on. You can do it. I wrote songs. That's what I used to do. I didn't journal, but I wrote a lot of music years and years ago. That was kind of my way of journaling, I guess. But I ended up with a collection of about 200 songs, and I have my music published under my publishing company, and wow, you know, I'm talking about that, and that just seems like eons ago, and I guess it really was. It was about 25, 30 years ago that I was doing that. But anyway, we move on, right? We move on. Queen of Hearts, and more tags for you guys to play with. This is we have our deer image right here. An apple tea cake. Look at that. And it sounds so good. I'm noticing that a lot of these vintage recipes have things like lard in them, or a half of a yeast cake. What is a half of a yeast? What is a yeast cake? I don't know what a yeast cake is. Some more images from magazines for you guys to play with. I love zebras as well as elephants, but I think zebras are quite beautiful too. I have I knew these aren't hummingbirds. Oh my gosh, y'all! I have 2 hummingbirds, and I have a huge bumblebee that the hummingbirds chase away from the hummingbird feeder. I could watch it for hours. I could watch it literally for hours. I love to watch my hummingbirds. I read that the red food coloring that you put in a hummingbird feeder is not very good for the birds. So what I boiled some blackberries from my neighbor next door, and the way I did that was I put my blackberries in a coffee cup, put the coffee cup in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then I kind of stirred it around, and then I did it for another 30 seconds, and that extracts the juice from the berries. And that is what I use to color my hummingbird feeder water. Oh my gosh, they are going crazy. They're like at the feeder all the time. I've already had to change it out once this week. It's just like they really, really like it. This is a vintage greeting card from the 1950s. It still has the original ribbon right here. It's signed from your husband. It's very sweet. Remember when we used to have our mystery lady in our books? Wasn't that fun? Oh, I always like to have the mystery lady in our books. Okay, you guys, this is Rose Hips. And just remember, she has that sweet sentiment on her called Repair Your Broken Wings. I'm excited about this book, you guys. This is a table runner that I picked up at my friend Sarah's auntie's house. I'm sorry, my fingernails look bad because of the aforementioned blackberries. I had never done anything with like an actual, a table runner or a t-shirt or anything like that. But I now know how to do this, and I really loved working with it. I kept the piece intact because I know that Sarah's auntie made it. So you'll see her stitching up here, her stitching down here. So just be prepared to, it's not like I actually made it from her table runner. And Sarah's auntie was she was a fascinating person. She was an artist through and through. Her, especially her kitchen was amazing for an 80-year-old woman. She had just had her kitchen redone. She had her pots and pans hanging. She loved to feed people. It was very, it made me really happy to go there to see what a rich life, you can have at 80, and you really can have a wonderful life at 80. My mom and my dad have a wonderful life at 80. I finished this off with some etched beads, glass beads, wooden beads, crystal beads, all kinds of cool things on this little item. I finished it off with a closure, the Tim Holtz closures, that says 25 on it. This is some of the jelly print paper that I've been doing, but it's been so miserable here, with all the rain, that I've not been able to do any jelly printing because it won't dry, and so I haven't done much of that lately. This is a card for you to alter, lots of white space for you to write upon. This is a sweet little painting of a tractor and a farm in the winter. The word sweet, what does that remind you of? That reminds me of my little boy. That's what he used to say when he was like 13. Sweet! Sweet! Do you want to do that? Oh, Mom, that's sweet! This is some painty paper for you to enjoy, some magazine images for you to enjoy. Doesn't that look like a cozy nook? She's reading a book on looks like a tablet or something like that. I love putting I love you guys putting the lunch bags in here. I think that they're great receptacles. This is a gorgeous mermaid. A little bit of mermaid imagery for you. Some deli print paper. This is a packet full of things for you to play with. More of the grocery bag. There's nothing quite like a grocery bag or a paper lunch bag. I love them. Dear Geneva, with kindest thoughts of you, I'm sorry I haven't been able to get in to see you. Take care, Margaret. Me and Geneva had a lot of friends. I hope that I have friends when I get older. I live a very isolated life. I don't get out much. Friends, that's you guys are my friends. I mean, I feel I'm a very virtual-ish person. Just don't get out a lot, you guys. I moved to a strange town 12 years ago, and it's still a strange town to me. I put you guys a little mini book in here. This is a bit of vinyl, just as a sort of pop of something different. crown imagery. I've got some fabric for you to play with. This is one of those super cool pockets that has there's a pocket here. There's 2 pockets in the front right here. The 1953 recipe books in 1984. I think it's called The Garden Gourmet. I wonder if they even publish that book anymore. Some Pictionary pieces, more vintage Christmas cards. Don't you love her? With the little black kitty cat in the star right there. It's really sweet. Vintage dictionary pages for you. This is the Black's Law Diet. And I just noticed this Dearly Beloved. Some of these pages have like a really nice goldish kind of tint at the top. Very pretty. A place for you to write. ABCs for you to cut out and make words with. This vintage Christmas card was from Connie, and that's my mama's name. I talked to my mom yesterday. She has had the worst cold, and it was a really bad summer cold, and she said she didn't really feel so bad, but she coughed. And I talked to Mom usually about 30 minutes a day, and we would get through about 5 minutes of talking, and she just couldn't do it anymore. She would just cough and cough. So last night, I got to talk to my mama for a full hour and 5 minutes. I was so happy. We talked about everything. I love to hear about her day, where she went, where she and Daddy went. My dad can no longer drive, so she's always kind of trying to get him out of the house and get him out and about. And they went to Lowe's, and they picked up this and that, and then sometimes they'll go to Sam's Club, and they'll do the sample thing, so it's very sweet. I was so happy to talk to her yesterday and find out that she was feeling so much better. Very blessed indeed. Okay, we have Auntie's Table Runner and rose hips going in the store a little later on today, you guys. Happy Thursday. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.